So greetings everyone and welcome to Power Time practice here on Saturday, the 27th of January, 2018. I'm just looking at my calendar here. If you haven't received your AstroVed calendar, then please get it. This is a very important spiritual tool in that every time we have a new week that rolls out, a new month that rolls out, a new year that rolls out, there's a power or an energy behind the time. So today is Saturday, and Saturn rules the day. So the planet Saturn has an influence on the way you are going to think, the type of actions that you are going to do, and also the activities that you're going to participate in. Now, good or bad, we want to know how to get the blessings of these divine being, Lord Saturn today. The overlord of Lord Saturn is Hanuman, and he is a monkey god or a divine archetype who does the impossible. So Saturn can sometimes create some delays and obstacles, as we experienced just a few moments ago trying to get this call started. And there were some technical issues, but here we are now. And I just went into my kitchen and I created my Saturn lamp, which is a sesame oil and black sesame seeds. And I'll just show that to everyone here because it's very important to light a lamp for Saturn every Saturday. And if you have a Saturn affliction, meaning that you're going through 7.5 years of Saturn, then it might be a good idea to try out this beautiful, easy to do technique that can help to bring peace and clarity in the space and then help to move things along more smoothly. So we don't want to have disturbed mind. That's why we get into meditation. Meditation is a stream of consciousness that we tap into. Some of us do it naturally. Some of us do it while we're working. Some of us do it while we're taking care of our families. Some of us do it while we're doing a sport. So we get into this stream of consciousness that we are totally focused. We're doing activity, but we're focused on whatever it is that we're doing. And when we have that tremendous focus and discipline of mind, you're not thinking too much. You're only doing. You're only being in that moment. So meditation isn't something necessarily that you have to take a course on or do some things to help you to understand what it is, experience it. If you're already there, keep doing it. Now, when we get on a spiritual path, then we are going from like a kindergarten level of our awareness of being in a gap to an advanced level. So that's why we need a spiritual master like Dr. Pillai to guide us through these murky waters. When we're on the spiritual path, it's not like being in the world where we can see everything. We're in a world where we can't see with these eyes, our biological eyes, our anatomical eyes, and the function that's behind it. So we want to be able to see with another type of eye, which is known as our third eye. And our third eye is connected to are closely associated with the midbrain area. So if you tap this part, the spot between your two eyebrows, and you just tap it gently, and then you just keep tapping all the way up as you're going up the forehead, up your forehead, and then to the middle of your skull. And then just imagine at about the midpoint that you're meeting this part in the spot between your two eyebrows. So you're taking the energy of your eyesight back into the midbrain. So it doesn't mean that you close your eyes necessarily, although if you do, then you can get there much quicker. So we want to bypass the frontal lobe. We want to get into the midbrain, activate that area, and then that's where we can think very powerful thoughts. not that we're trying to do it, it's just that those thoughts that are more conducive to us having a more beautiful experience in our life, a more fulfilling and more profound experience, is that when we come into the third eye area, those thoughts will come to us and we will then take action. Now, as we go along, there are some thoughts that come up when we're doing our meditation practice, because when we're in a stream of consciousness, everything is getting churned up. So when that happens, we need to be able to navigate accordingly and get rid of that which is no longer serving us or others. So meditation is a great stream of consciousness to be in and to tap into very quickly if you know the secrets. And you don't have to spend long hours in meditation. So being with Dr. Pillai, somehow your soul said, oh, I don't have time to spend long hours in meditation, although I'd love to. I've got to take care of the kids, I've got to go to work, I've got to do all my other things. So, it's not easy to do. And Dr. Pillai is very compassionate about that. And he knows that humans are, at this point in time, so distracted. There's so much going on. We're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, we're on all the social media throughout the day. So our mind is like going here, going there, like a monkey jumping around. So we need to rest it. Otherwise, if we don't rest ourselves or rest our brain, we will get really tired. And then as our brain tells the rest of the body what to do, there can be dysfunction over time. So we want to have energy all the time, and we want to be able to tap into it really easily and do things that are from higher realms and have been passed down through the generations of these great sages, siddhas, yogis, saints who have been trying to discover what it is that we can do at any given point in time. As the humans are evolving, as we are evolving, there's always a great being who comes in, and he has the authorization to give these simple technologies to everyone, and then you can enjoy the benefits of it very readily, very, very easily, rather than going and sitting in an ashram all day and doing service to the guru, or being a monk if you're from the Christian background or any background. You don't have to give up your whole life to spirituality. We're all spiritual beings. We just have to wake that up inside of us. Now, it's not to say that being a monk or staying in an ashram and getting spiritual training from a guru isn't a cool thing to do. If that's your karma to do that, then you will just naturally do that. So it's okay, but most of us, it's not in this lifetime. Although a lot of us wish we could. Be nice to just check out and go somewhere, but there's so many other things that we have to do. So the time shaktis, or the power times, that we are going to be aware of this week to be able to tap into that meditative stream of consciousness that can take our ways of thinking up to great heights, starts today. Actually, it's Saturday, and it's so Saturn is has already given you the blessings to get up and get going and feel what you need to feel, instead of what you've always felt every other day of the week. So Saturn is saying you need to be disciplined, you need to be patient, you need to put into practice your spiritual practices, you need to also be compassionate, you need to be persistent and persevere. So if that's causing you to be like, ew, that doesn't sound too fun, the Saturn also gives you, when you go through all those things and you feel that and you are that, then you have tremendous peace and you have tremendous focus. So everything that you're doing on a Saturday and thereafter, it means that Saturn is giving you blessings to let things roll out very smoothly and in an organized way, and then also in a way that is going to be more fulfilling and more rewarding. So we have an Ekadashi, which is 11th moon, and it's on a waxing cycle. We had a new moon, so the moon is getting brighter in the sky. So Tayamavasi was a new moon, and that was on the 16th last week. And then we have the 11th and 12th moon today, which is for Lord Vishnu. And Lord Vishnu is the archetype who wants us to manifest. He wants us to sustain all our manifestations. He wants us to go after whatever it is that we want to create, and he will protect us while we are going about our business. So he also gives money miracles. If you fast on an 11th moon, then it's said that you can really access his energies, and then your money miracle can be on that day or thereafter. So it's fun to sort of experiment with it, but if you know about Lord Vishnu, then you can easily tap into his energy. And if you don't know him, then you can just be praying for money miracles, and then we'll go through a meditation today where you'll experience him maybe for the first time inside of you. Why him inside of us? Why any of these divine archetypes inside of us? Is because they are beings. They're divine beings, and they have appeared to ancient seers and sages of since times immemorial. So they have been able to reveal themselves in a physical form so that we can understand, oh, okay, well, that is something that is not of this world, but it can give blessings and it can give consciousness. So when we're meditating, we're in a stream of consciousness, and we want to go to high streams of consciousness, because if we're in low streams of consciousness, then we already know what our energy is like. We already know what our emotions are like, what we're feeling. So lower vibration means that the light or the intelligence isn't so great. It's stuck. It's mucky. So we want to go to higher states of consciousness, and then accessing these divine beings, these archetypes, is that consciousness will come into us, or we'll be meeting it. So the heavens will meet the earth plane and the inhabitants, including us. So that consciousness is going to be streaming through us as we are going into those higher states. And then we can get some blessings from them, because it's like when you go to people who are in high positions in life, then you can get some obstacles removed. You can get some blessings from them. You can get some information from them that will be really helpful for you in your life. So Ekadashi is a great time to celebrate Lord Vishnu, and we will go into a meditation, as I mentioned, and then you'll experience him inside, his consciousness inside. And then we have tomorrow, depending on where you are in the world, or Monday, so Sunday or Monday, is going to be the 13th moon. And that is a moon that is a window of opportunity to destroy karma. It's called pradosham. If it falls on the Monday, wherever you are in the world, it's called Soma Pradosham. Soma means the mind. The moon represents the mind. So Soma is also that elixir. So it kind of can wash away all your troubles. So Pradosham is an opportunity to bust some karma. So anything that has been blocking your progress in terms of health or finances or your relationships, your family, relationships, whatever is going on with you and your kids, your spouse, can be your siblings. So we are bumping up against karma all the time, because karma is just whatever we're thinking that we want to do that day, or whatever happens to us in that day. Nothing happens to us. We are remembering it, and we're pushing it forth through our eyes, and we are receiving that information, that which we want to see. So we kind of have this projection of our life as if it's on a movie screen. So our life is out here, and then everything that we have stored in our memory is getting projected outwards, and then we see the movie of our life. We search out those things. And how do we do that? Well, we get pinged. The director becomes the thoughts. So we want to direct those thoughts in a way that are going to be more conducive to more loving and joyous way of being and interacting in the world and with everyone we meet, and also to clean up those relationships that are not so great and for whatever reason they aren't. And you want to find out what that is by tapping into this vortex of time where everything can get churned up, and then it can come to the surface and be dispelled before you even interact with anyone else. So karma can be health issues. Maybe there's an underlying disease or an accident is going to happen and it's going to take you out for some time. You're going to be injured. Then you just clear that. You clear that energy that's coming in, and it will just bounce off of you. Now, how do we know if we're going to have these things where we can't see the future? We're limited. Even if you have an astrology consultation, it's a maybe, it's a forecast, right? It's kind of like traffic. When you're stuck in traffic, you know, you pull out your Google Maps and you can see, oh, I don't need to be here. I don't need to go onto this highway. It's, you know, all clogged up. So you can find a way out. So that's like all these power times are like that. It's a way out of obstacles that haven't yet happened. You haven't yet got stuck in it. You can still move. So that is happening Soma Pradosham on Monday. And then it's followed by the full moon, which is Thai Pusam. Thai is the month in Tamil that we are in right now, this time period, where it's a period of enlightenment. And what is enlightenment? It just means to get more intelligence. So you can think clearly and you can understand that your life is stuck in some places, and then also it's really great in other places. So it's like the spotlight on your life is showing you scene by scene what you need to do in your movie of you. So Thaipusam is a great time for ascension. So it means that you can be in an elevated state of consciousness. Maybe some of you might become saints and become fully enlightened. You know, that would be awesome, because fully enlightened people just want to help the world. And they can do it because the divine has chosen them to create miracles for people and so on. And so the significance of Thaipusam is that Pusam means Pushya. Pushya is a star, a nakshatra. And it has a particular energy of Lord Saturn and also Lord Hanuman. So you can see that on a Saturday, when we tap into this energy on a Saturday, when we come to Thaipusam, which is going to be on, it looks like it's going to be on the 30th or the 31st, depending on where you are in the world, the full moon. It is a time where you can really get a strong mind and be very focused and be ready to receive all the spiritual blessings so that you can integrate that intelligence thereafter. And you can grow that inside of you. And that helps your soul to raise its vibration, and then also to create more blessings in your life, and also have that spillover into other people's lives as well around you, making your little piece of heaven on earth that much better. So Thaipusam is an ascension star day on that full moon. So everything's going to be very bright. And as we know, full moons, or if you're not familiar with full moons, it can be a time for manifestation as well. So you can manifest really quickly if you have a lot of spiritual intelligence, because you have clarity of mind, and then that thought will come to you and it will be able to manifest. So purity is something that we all strive for, not to be better than anyone else, and not even to be thinking, oh my goodness, I've been such a terrible person, and so on, and you're always comparing yourself to who you were or yourself to others. And that's just a spin around of really negative energy. So we want to get out of that spin cycle, and then we want to raise our vibration to rise above it, and then also beyond it, and then have the blessings that come in and that will enlighten our consciousness and make us to feel a lot lighter about our situation. And then when we do, as the saying goes, so you think and so you shall be, right? So you want to be joyous, happy, fulfilled, abundant. You want to be relating to everyone in a way that you're being received and you're experiencing an exchange of love and support and unconditional love and unconditional support. There's no conditions on it. So that's something that has to happen from inside of us before we can be that for others. And so Thaipusam is a great time to do that. Again, it's an Ascension day, so you'll feel like you're lighter. You'll feel like stuff can be coming up too, to be cleared, but great, because it's stuck way down inside of us or hidden from us, and it's getting turned up, and then it will be released. Otherwise, it just stays there hidden, and you don't know. It's in your subconscious, and also in the collective unconscious. So we want to be able to rise above all of it. And then Thaipusam has a great spiritual significance. We can talk about that a little bit after the meditation process that we're going to go through. It's associated with Lord Muruga. Now you can see him over my left shoulder, and he is a warrior god. He has a spear, or it's called a veil in Tamil, and this is a veil, and I've shown this before, but I'll show it to you again. Has the Om symbol on it, the Tamil Om symbol, and it represents your backbone and brain. So it's a spiritual tool that you can access the energy of all the chakras that align on your spine. So imagine the chakras lining up along this handle of the veil, the spear, and then this head of the veil is kind of like a flame, isn't it? So you can burn through the frontal lobe, which says no mostly, or is very logical or rational, and it only has the ability to know a little bit, only a ration of holistic thinking. So we want to bypass that, sear through it, so to speak, and get into the midbrain. So if you imagine this stem as your backbone, and then this as your midbrain, this flame, the eternal flame, then you are going to be purifying your thoughts. And then you're going to be, if you're piercing through, or it's searing through the frontal lobe, which is here, it's going to be readily available in the midbrain. And then the tip of the spear pierces the crown chakra. So people are always wondering, well, how do I get to the crown chakra? Well, you can pierce it. So this is a tool that is not just some object that you hope works. It's a psycho-spiritual tool. It's like a divine weapon. You don't even know how it works, and you will never know how it works anyways, even if you read about it in theory and you read all the mythology behind why this is a spiritual weapon for Lord Muruga and so on. You know, because his mom gave it to him. His mom is goddess Parvati, and she's Shakti. Shakti is the goddess energy. So this was not activated. He could use it because he was a great warrior, but it needed the blessings from the mother, the Shakti, to be inside. So she's actually inside of this veil as well. And it kind of makes sense when you are doing your spiritual practice and you're imagining this to be your midbrain and your spine with all the chakras. It's moving the Kundalini. The Kundalini energy is the goddess energy. It's the Shakti energy within you. So it's cleaning up your consciousness that you have taken on, and it's covered your soul, and it's covered your spiritual apparatus, all the chakras. So we have to uncover it. And so this goddess energy will do that, because goddess loves to clean up the energy and make everything nice and fresh and vital, and also it nurtures you. When you have a strong soul, there's a lot of light in you, you can live forever if you want. And that's, again, Thaipusam is that opportunity for those advanced souls to live forever. They can get the light body. So you can see just further to the left, if you're on Zoom, there's a picture of Swami Ramalingam. And Swami Ramalingam is Dr. Pillai's last incarnation, his most recent incarnation, before he came here now in this lifetime. And he ascended, and he's ascended to that level of the light body where it's just producing miracles. There's no pain, there's no suffering, and then it can enlighten other people. So Dr. Pillai is here on my right, and it is a very powerful time on Thaipusam to access this energy within you from Lord Muruga's grace and blessings, and then to light up your consciousness, to feed your soul. So your soul, what is your soul? Well, depends on the text that you read. Your soul can be you're related to your third eye. It can be any of the chakras. It can be all kinds of things. It can be a glow or a halo, depending on what you read in the sacred scripts across all cultures, all religions. What it does mean, though, the soul is your own experience. So your soul might have a memory of what it is. So in the tradition that Dr. Pillai hails from, the Tamil Siddha tradition, it is located in the third eye. And so the third eye is where we can open up to higher realms. We raise our consciousness, we get into a meditation stream of consciousness, and we raise our level of awareness. And that level of awareness is going to be opening, as we raise it, it pushes pressure on the third eye, and it opens. So it opens and it blossoms into the crown chakra. And that's why sometimes, well, not sometimes, but you see halos around the saints, around Christ, around all these divine beings. As you can see, Swami Ramalingam, he has the halo all around his whole body. He was just a light body for, I think it was about 1.5 years. And he was like a ghost. People were totally freaked out to be around him. And he was vibrating so fast. The energy and the light and intelligence was vibrating so fast. You would just cry around him. So that is the significance of Thaipusam. And a lot of us who have been following Dr. Pillai for many years, one of the first times we were there with Dr. Pillai at the place where Swami Ramalingam ascended, there was no words. There were no words. It was only crying, just crying and crying and crying. And it wasn't that we were crying, because we were sad. I didn't even know when I walked in. I didn't really even know anything about anything. And I walked into this place, and my whole being just shook. It shook with so much compassion and just love, and just being in a place. I felt like I was in this heavenly place. It was just a building. We just went to this building in India, and we had some idea that this was a special place, a very sacred place, and that we knew about Dr. Pillai having an incarnation as this divine being, this light being. But I didn't have an experience like I had when I just walked in this room. And he wasn't even there, but his energy is there. And then I could feel the wall where they had put the door, where he had gone into the room, and then he just ascended. He said to his disciples, "It's not the right time for you guys to get the light body." This was back in 1874, I think it was. I stand to be corrected if anyone wants to do that. but he went into this room and then he never came out. And then the authorities in India came and they said, okay, what's going on here? And then, from the people who were in the village that had lived with, Swami Ramalingam, they had told the stories about him, and then the works are there, the writing is there. And all the saints of India, they all sing his praise and so on. So it is something that we can attain to, or we can experience if we go to India, if we have the blessings to go there, or if you have the desire, then the blessings are already there. If you have the desire to go, then do it at some point. And if you can, go on this Ascension Day. It's a crazy madhouse day. I say that in a loving way. It's just millions, like it's thousands and thousands. I think there was like 1 million people that were going to this place where Swami Ramalingam ascended. And we were so blessed to be with Dr. Pillai because we had to have a police escort and get through the crowds and get into the place and do the special meditations that we had to do. And it was an incredible experience. It's just amazing. So being with Dr. Pillai, and if you go to India, like some of us are going to be heading out there for his birthday on the 1st, which is the day after the Ascension. And so he's going to be giving us special blessings and teachings there. And then whatever we're going there for, yes, it is for our own individual evolution, but also collectively, the divine has decided, okay, these people are going to be there, and then they're going to do something collectively. We don't even know. We'll just be there and praying, and then that will raise the consciousness. It will push through a level of consciousness of the whole earth plane. And it's not to say that Dr. Pillai is the only one who is doing this. There are lots of spiritual masters, and then whatever your soul is craving for, it will go for that in experience. So there's no right or wrong way of how you got her or how long you're going to stay with Dr. Pillai, although I share with everyone it's an adventure, and continue on. It's amazing. But it's up to you, whatever you want to do. There's nobody policing you and making you to do anything. It's up to you. So if you do decide that you want to participate in an India trip with Dr. Pillai during his birthday time, it's a great time to be with him because it is right around this ascension of Taipusam. And then there's always great spiritual blessings coming through the master. It has to come through the master. Otherwise, it's going to be like a burning bush experience. You'll go blind, or you won't be able to handle the vibration of this intelligence. Like I said, when I first started studying with Dr. Pillai, I went to India right away. And then we went and we saw the place where Swami Ramalingam ascended. And not only saw it, we experienced it. And it was a tremendous shaking up of my whole being, from the way I thought to how I felt and so on. And thereafter, my whole life changed. And I didn't really even do anything. I just went there, tapped into that vortex, came home, and everything changed. And then have been there afterwards several times throughout the years. And there was one particular time that I think I shared with other people where I was with Dr. Pillai and a bunch of other people, and we had been taken on the Ascension Day to this site where he ascended, where Swami Ramalingam ascended. And then we were doing Arutparum Jyoti, which we'll do today in a meditation. And we were just chanting it. It was like, okay, we're just singing this, and Dr. Pillai is singing it. He's telling us to sing it, close your eyes. And so I didn't want to miss anything. I kept my eyes open, and everyone turned to light. I could not see. Everything was light. And then when I came out of it, we all left. After some time, we left. We went back onto the buses, and off we went to our next temple that we were going to go to, or lecture, or whatever it was that we were doing during that pilgrimage. And I couldn't see. I literally could not see. It was just so light and so bright. I went temporarily blind. And I was freaking out, and someone that was there with me, she just took me and she said, "Are you okay?" And I said, "I'm really freaked out. I can't see. I'm scared. What did I do? Oh my God." You know, and I was in a heightened state of consciousness. So I was just really disoriented. So meditation can take you to those states too. And it can make you to feel very disoriented and you don't know what's going on in your life. So you really need a teacher. You need someone to guide you every step of the way and to bring you back to yourself, and then help to, clear out anything that you need to do in your life that is no longer serving you. And that's exactly what happened. So for some time, it was hours, and I was just really praying, "Oh my God, please." And he warned us, "Don't open your eyes." I did, which I don't recommend. So, back to life, and here I am, and my eyesight is okay, except as I age, I have to have readers. So someone is saying here, "I feel the energy growing in me. And it's easier to let go of the doubt," because doubt is really heavy, right? It's not a psychological experience only. It's something that just really creates negative energy. So the flow goes down. You're going against the stream. The stream of consciousness is always wanting to go up and break through. Because when you can fly like an eagle, so to speak, you can see everything. So you can choose what you want to do in life. You can just go, "Okay, I can go here, I can go there. No, that's not a good idea over there," right? So you can have that eagle eye view or hawk's eye view of your life, and then make your choices accordingly. So when you come up and you rise, you make that energy inside of you raise your consciousness, then you're going to feel lighter. You're going to have more joy. You're going to have yes, you're going to have human experiences where maybe it's appropriate to be sad or it's appropriate to be upset, but it's not going to last very long. It will just be fleeting. And then you can experience what it is to be human, and also to be compassionate and tolerant of others, and also more patient with yourself and others, and also more effective in your life. So being enlightened doesn't mean being a zombie and spaced out and just meditating all day long. You are actually more active. You're in the world more. You're doing more for more and more people. So it's not because you have any say in the matter. You're just not even you anymore. You're just totally divine. You're totally immersed with God consciousness. Like Christ, he just went around and he was just doing stuff and creating miracles for people, although he didn't really have any. He would always say, "It's because my Father and I are one." We're in the same stream of consciousness. He's in heaven as above. He's not in the physical. So he was saying, because I am the human, the divine and human all mixed in one, you can follow me, because if I can do it, you can do it, right? So that's Dr. Pillai has come back again in this lifetime for those people who want to get to that state of evolution, and not just in a state of where you're spacing out. It's your whole body turns to light. All the cells in your body are vibrating at such a high speed that in a wink of an eye, the body can turn into light, like Paul said in the Bible. So that's what we are up to this week ahead, actually starting today and then in the following days ahead. So you're going to feel more and more light, more and more love, unconditional love for yourself and others. And then you might even feel joy. You might even feel, as someone mentioned last week in one of the calls that are offered through the courses at Pillai Center, she said, I was just feeling joy for no reason. It was just uninterrupted joy. It was just came out of nowhere, and it went on for, she said, like an hour or half an hour or something like that. I can't remember the exact time, but she just said, that's so unlike me. I'm so stressed out at everything that's been going on. I'm going through 7.5 years of Saturn. It's been a nightmare. She shared about that. but she always knew that being on the spiritual path and studying with Dr. Pillai and her spiritual tools that she had in that any given moment in time, she could just pull those tools and use them, meditations or rituals or remedies or services or support was there, and it continues to be there. And then the joy is there, because if you have kind of like all these guardian angels and all this protection around you, it's much easier to navigate the spiritual realms where we can't really see what's going on. So we need to have those who are evolved to show us the way. So they pave the way with light and love and guidance, and then we can go on that path quite readily. We can scramble in the dark for a while, because if you don't know the dark, then you won't know the light. So on the earth plane, there's light and darkness. So as you get evolved spiritually, you're going to be in the dark there too, because as the consciousness is raising, there has to be an equal and opposite energy that comes in to balance things out. This is on the earth plane and on other planes as well, but we can't get into that too much, because if you can't relate to even being here and on your spiritual path, how are you going to be out there and on your spiritual path? Pretty messed up. And there are people who they're totally spaced out and they live in other worlds. They can't stand being in the physical body, and they're in pain and suffering, and they just want to take their lives. And you've heard many stories of people on the spiritual path where they just couldn't take life, and it didn't matter what they had or didn't have. It was just, they were so empty inside. Their soul was dead. They were walking dead, and not to be confused with the miniseries that's going on and on forever on TV. You know, it's kind of pumping, you know, I love TV. God bless TV. God bless media. It pumps in all this energy and consciousness that makes us to go, not that, not going to do that. Well, that's entertaining, but that's not me. And I'm not going to be stressed out about that, because it doesn't seem real, you know? And so that's what it can be like on the spiritual path, where you have really strong meditations, or maybe you're going into the dream plane and you delve into those kinds of practices, or you work with really heavy duty archetypes who are demon killers. They just will go and kill dark forces, and that's all they do. And you're caught up in that. It's not very pleasant. You know, that yes, they can give you that experience, that consciousness can be there to go into the dark and to feel like, oh, okay, well, there's a light in the dark. But do you want to do that forever? Not really, right? Because then there's an imbalance at some point. And then the planets there also pumping in intelligence into us that we don't necessarily, we're not aware of, or even if we have an astrology consultation, it might freak us out. And then that energy will create more congestion around us. We want to have what, like Swami Ramalingam has, or Christ, or Dr. Pillai, if you've seen him in his light body form. Sometimes people snap a picture of him, and that's all over the internet, and where his body is light. It's just totally light. Like there's his wife next to him, and he's all light, and there's other people around him, but he's just gone to light. And so that's because he's in a state of consciousness where the divine just says, pour the light in, and then you're going to be, that light is going to be radiating out for the people there, or maybe just the state of the consciousness needed to be changed at that given point in time. So that's what you'll feel like. You'll feel more lightness of being as you're going about your day, and then everything will happen with more grace and ease. So we have also, Dr. Pillai is just implementing now, he's gotten permission from the divine so that you don't go blind like I did, that you can pray to Lord Ganesha. And Lord Ganesha is there's going to be marriage ceremonies happening for 1 time, or 3 months, 6 months, or 1 year. So if you have tremendous obstacles in your life, you don't need an astrologer to tell you that. You just need to get those obstacles removed. And Ganesha is the king of obstacles, in that he will create an obstacle so that you'll pay attention to him, and then you will call on him, and then he will say, okay, yeah, I can remove the obstacle. Now, how does that's mythologically speaking, or storytelling that's been passed down. How do you know inside of you? Well, Ganesha's energy is at the root chakra, the Muladhara in Sanskrit. And that chakra is the doorway to open the Kundalini energy inside of you. So his energy will, if you call on Ganesha, or if you pray to Ganesha, or if you do pujas or services to Ganesha, then his energy gets activated in you. And that energy will then push the Kundalini up so that it clears all the spinal chakras, the spinal centers, the chakras that are these psycho-spiritual centers that will help to light up your body, mind, and then also open the third eye. And Ganesha's energy is also readily available in the thalamic region, and which is kind of like a relay station in between the two hemispheres of the brain. And then that will help to calm your mind. It will help you to be steady in a stream of consciousness. So you'll be kind of like be this eye in the storm with Ganesha's blessings. So Dr. Pillai is bringing more and more of these archetypes, all the ways to access these archetypes into the teachings for the general public. And also for those of you who've been studying with Dr. Pillai for a long time, like myself, I'm always so happy because when he brings these opportunities to our door, it's like we don't have to go and seek it out. We don't have to go and study it. We don't have to, you know, surf the internet and spend hours. He just says, okay, it's time now for Ganesha to come in to the earth plane. And he's been coming in, he's been bringing him in through the different courses and different things that we've done, going to India, going to different pilgrimages, doing fire labs and so on, to bring in that intelligence into the earth plane so that it's not going to burn everybody up. So it's been coming in slowly, gradually over the years. And then because Dr. Pillai is already enlightened fully, and then he can give the teaching of that moment that will go into us and then make our lives that much more easy to navigate. So Ganesha is going to be having this Ganesha marriage ceremony for you can participate 1 time, 3 months, 6 months, or 12 months. And as Dr. Pillai shares here, I'm just reading, you can check this out on Astrovet and Pillai Center. It's going to be happening on January 30th, which is the 14th waxing moon. So every 14th waxing moon happens once a month. And it will be happening on the 30th. And it's just before Thaipusam. So it's kind of interesting how that's all rolling out, isn't it? So Ganesha is going to remove the obstacles internally and also in your life so that you can experience a more enlightened state of being. And how does that happen is if you tap into the energy, either if you're there in India like I will be, or if you're going to participate in proxy services, then it's your soul is there. You're saying your name, and your name and your star is being said by the priests, the Vedic specialists who are going to be doing all these services on your behalf. So that energy inside of you is going to be felt. That energy of Ganesha is going to be felt and experienced. So this new Ganesha wedding ceremony is being commissioned by Dr. Pillai. And this is an esoteric ceremony that's most powerful to receive Ganesha's blessings for an abundant and prosperous life, because Ganesha is all about getting to, if you think of the word Ganesha, Gana Isha. Gana is these divine beings. Isha is the highest. So these divine beings will help you to get to the highest states of consciousness. And you're never there. You're never fully enlightened, and then that's game over. You keep evolving. So we want to, we're already having a little challenge navigating this physical form in all the physical realm. So we need to get mastery over that. or a handle on or get control of it, so we're not feeling out of control in our lives. So we've got control of our spiritual path and as a human being evolving, and then we can go to high states of consciousness that much faster. So it's kind of like, you know, as in kindergarten, we learn the rules of life. Be nice to everybody, and, you know, say yeah, say please, say thank you, all the basics, right? Well, most of us as adults, we forget all that. So we have to just keep, you know, keep that in mind when we're on the spiritual path, that kindergarten can be experienced for a long time. So we want to get out of that. And then this will help you. So Ganesha will help you to come up to those higher states of consciousness and then keep you going. So it's not like you stop propitiating Ganesha or you stop doing meditations that will keep the Kundalini moving and keep him happy. And then when you feel that in your life, obstacles just disappear. They really do. So just like human beings, goddesses also greatly anticipate and relish their wedding ceremonies. So this is Ganesha's marriage ceremony we're talking about here. They shower their highest blessings on those who help them celebrate their wedding rituals. So based on a recent revelation, and this is the key, why didn't this happen before? Because Earth plane wasn't ready. Just like, why didn't Swami Ramalingam in 1874 give the light body to a lot of people? Because they weren't ready and the Earth plane wasn't ready. So now we are. Some of us are. Maybe. I don't know. It's up to the divine, right? All we can do is keep doing our spiritual practices, and the divine is going to determine what you're going to be able to do. Because the ego is just a big head fake. It can think, oh, I'm so evolved, but then just look at that, think. You just put a thought there, so forget about it. You're in karma. Karma is thought. So we want to have divine thoughts. That's okay. Those are subtle vibrations that will help you to navigate, and you'll just, wow, that was a great thought. I don't have authorization over that one. Maybe it was a divine thought. Awesome. But you want to have that all the time. So you're not even really saying, thinking, doing anything that is out of alignment with the divine. And whatever you say, think, or do will be perfect in that moment. So this write-up goes on to say that based on this revelation from Dr. Pillai, Asraved, the Remedy Center in India, that does these services for Pillai Center in Asraved, will perform most of the sacred wedding ritual for Ganesha every 14th waxing moon, which is called Shukla Chaturdasi. And Chaturdasi is like 14th, and the Shukla means the bright side of the moon. So the waxing, the moon is getting bigger. So it's going to be a very dramatic and grand ceremonious celebration. So you're invited to participate in this and receive Ganesha's blessings. So he has the power time associated with this 14th waxing moon. It's very auspicious because it has this, according to the Ganesha Purana, is the mythical accounts of Ganesha. The Lord Ganesha has two consorts, so he has two Shakti energies associated with him, and they represent success and spiritual achievement, which is called Siddhi, or miracle consciousness, and then Buddhi, which represents wisdom and intellect. So if you want those miracle consciousness, wisdom, intellect, high intelligence, then it might be something that you want to tap into and just explore. So these two consorts represent the energy and intelligence required for success on the earth plane. And participating in Ganesha's wedding ceremony can bestow you with success, prosperity, and abundance. There's a story of Ganesha's wedding that I'll leave you with to read about on your own. And when you read the mythologies, it becomes like a mythotherapy, as Dr. Pillai shared, and lots of masters who have shared about the archetypes and the myths. Myths are eternal. They're forever. They didn't have internet. They didn't write stuff down. We didn't have books or anything. They had leaves, palm leaves. So that's how they would write things down to pass on. But the myths, if you can tap into the myths through the hymns of the sages that sang to these divine beings, you will be in that altered state, that divine state of consciousness temporarily. And you can only be in it temporarily, because if you are in it all the time, you're like a spiritual vegetable. You know, you're just in a divine coma. That can be okay, but you're not doing too much. You have to have people taking care of you, and then you have to have people controlling who comes to see you and so on. So if that's your thing that you're doing, God bless you and continue to do that. But most of us aren't in that state where we can just have a bunch of energy coming in and then just be in a divine coma, and then that's it. That's all we do. So there has to be an enlightenment is a process. So these are the ways to get clarity, and these archetypes that are eternal in their myths tell the story that when you read it, you go immediately into that state of consciousness. It's not a historical frame of reference, because God only knows when it happened, what the real timing of things were. It's that energy. So the power time, again, the power behind time is what we are tapping into. And so the myths will give you the blessings, the intelligence, the spiritual knowledge that you want to fulfill, to uncover, help to uncover the layers that are covering up your soul. So like the onion, we had that metaphor, that analogy that you can relate to. All of us can, when we are peeling the layers away from the onion. We cry. It's terrible. In some cases, like, oh, I can't even stop myself, right? So that's like the soul. The soul is the inside of this onion, and you can't touch it. And once the layers are all peeled away, there's nothing left, right? So like that, we are going through this process of our own evolution, where we're just peeling back the layers, and then all these ceremonies, all these services, reading the myths, doing your meditation, doing rituals or remedies, that is part of your higher education, the tools that you need to go and explore these higher realms. If you're here with Dr. Pillai, it's not to say that other teachings can't get you there. It's up to you. It's up to your soul, really. You have to ask yourself, how the heck did I get here? So there's some study or some experience that you want to have. And then maybe you'll stay on, and that's fine. And if you don't, that's fine too. So without further ado, let's get into a meditation. And someone is saying here, where can we get the recordings of your Powertime practices? I'd love to watch this again at another time. So yeah, you can watch it. The Powertime practices are posted to Pillai Center YouTube, and they're also on Pillai Center blog. There's a link there. And if you have received this, the call-in details for this call, then there will be an email that says you can just access this link and get the recordings. There will be an email that comes every week. So go into that email and click on I think it's practice or meditation or discussion, something like that. If Radha is here, she is she'll be the one who can answer that question for you. If you're not here, Radha, that's fine. And slowly, slowly come back. Thanks for joining, those of you who need to go. We'll see you next time. You can watch or listen to the rest of the recording that will be posted. The links will be posted to the email and also to the blog and YouTube. And then we'll see you next time. Have a beautiful week. Have an enlightened week. And enjoy celebrating Dr. Pillai's birthday, however you want to do that, however it's possible for you to do that. Just thinking of him, doing a teaching, a meditation is great as well. We'll see you next time. So those of you who are going to stay, this is a time where we can take some questions and share experiences. Liz was saying, my throat has been going crazy, clearing it continuously during the meditation. it's hard to concentrate because of my throat. And that's great. It's a great sign that some karma is being released. So in that case, when that happens, because we're coming up to a pradosham time, that's our soul knows this is the time where it's going to be releasing some karma. So it's going to come up. We're going to either push it down, which is not a good idea. So it's good to release it. So do what you can to cough it out. Keep doing the blue light, imagining the blue light in your throat throughout the day. You don't have to be closing your eyes and in a state of meditation. You can just be imagining this blue light entering your throat all the time. And then if you have your limes, you can just take the veil and then you just make a little piercing, stripping, and then you just shove it in all the way in. Well, as much as you can. This is a mini lime, but it does the trick. So try that out, Liz, and anyone else who is suffering from sore throat, or you have, you know, really negative thinking and you're just about to say stuff that, like, oh, that person, that's so-and-so, and I'm so mad and all that. Like, don't put that in the space. Just put it into a lime or a lemon. This is surrogate technology. It will take the negativity. And then because it's a pradosham, I'll just show everyone here. This is a Shiva Lingam. It's a crystal Shiva Lingam, and I just have it in my hand. And then I've got some water here next to me, and you can just simply pour a little bit of water on the Shiva Lingam, just like that. And you can say Tiranilakantam. So you can just say Tiranilakantam, 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 Tiranilakantam. So you don't have to do too much. And just that action it's a sacred technology. You don't have to know how it works. So if you have a crystal lingam, that's great. And then you can just do that every day and at any time throughout the day. Same with the limes. You can put the lime, take another lime and just put it on your throat and just hold it there. Or if you have a turtleneck or a scarf, you can just leave it there for some time and then take that lime away and feel it. It'll be just full of heat and negativity, and then you just cut it. And so you're actually physically doing something to cut that energy that has been trapped in the throat. So it's a good sign that you're coughing, but we don't want to get sick, because that's the first place that we get sick, right? When we take in some bacteria or virus in through the mucous membranes of the eyes or nose or mouth, and then we swallow it. That's where the poison is. And so that's the story, is Parvati came and she put her hands on her husband's throat and said, "You're turning blue, you're taking too much poison." So it got stopped at the throat. So he can do it. He's eternal and he's infinitely compassionate. And that's why we want to do this technology, because the moment you do it, you just pour that water on the Shiva Lingam. It does the trick. It takes you right to Shiva. So I don't want to just talk about this. You can see lots of YouTubes Dr. Pillai has shared and other teachers have shared about how to do your practice of propitiating Lord Shiva during pradosham time, a 13th moon, waxing or waning. But that's simply what I do, is you just take the lingam, put it on your hand, put it on your left hand, take a little bit of water, that's all it is, and you just reverently say, Tiranilakantam, Tiranilakantam, Tiranilakantam. Just a few drops, that's all it takes. And then you just wipe it away, wash it away. And then that will do you. You can do it continuously. And then pray in between each time you do it. You just say, get rid of whatever is in my throat. And you will know what it is, because you'll say, what is it? What is it? To yourself. And then the first thoughts that come to you, it's so-and-so, it's this job, it's this relationship, it's this, you know, this suffering on every level, and I can't get out of it. You know, so that's the, you don't need to go over your garbage. You just need to take your garbage out to the curb and let the garbage truck take it away, right? You don't need to, you just throw it in the garbage and just let it get taken away. So you don't need to analyze your stuff. That is maybe what you've done, and you've gotten so frustrated, and now you're here on this path with Dr. Pillai, and he's like, no nonsense, don't waste time. We don't have time to waste. So we want to get the energy or the power behind time to go do the thing that we cannot do, because that's a higher consciousness. And that's, if you're on this spiritual path, we need to know what the tools are to navigate the spiritual path. And then that will help us to be in our life as well. Oh, I just saw this other Shiva Lingam. I brought it because it's a Mercury one. And Mercury is transiting into Capricorn today. So this Shiva Lingam is a special one. It's made of Mercury. So let's propitiate him and see what happens. Because in the throat is where we still have our karma that keeps us stuck. And then Mercury is all about communication. So it will help us to clear out and have clear communication within ourselves and then also with others. Tiranila cantam, 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 tiranila cantam. So you don't have to understand what that did, but it did a lot of good. So whoever had the throat issue, maybe post how you feel, or you can share how you feel now. And then too, there's a coconut right next to the statue of Lord Muruga, the guy with all the weapons. He's got a peacock. The peacock represents Om. So if you have peacocks, or if you like peacocks, you're attracted to that image, whether on a t-shirt or some ornament, or you see peacocks in your dreams or in your meditations, it means that you're connecting more with the miracle consciousness and God consciousness. And they're beautiful, right? They're so elegant and so beautiful and so steady. So again, it's a mythical image that you can start to merge with that energy and kind of do the dance. And then when you're doing your meditation, and like the peacock, it's steady and it's holding that tremendous amount of feathers, and it's got a relatively small body, and it's just you know, a delight to see. And then it has this cry. It's like, rah! You know, it's got this really screeching cry because it is dispelling the darkness. It's scaring away any negative energy and forces, so that you can be in your Sushumna, you can be in that thin tube of light that arises from the base of the spine and pierces all the chakras and goes up into the space. If you imagine Lord Muruga's veil and continue to do that, even if you can get a veil, that's awesome. But just imagine this spear-like object as your backbone and brain. Then you will have this ability that you don't even know how it's happening, but the divine will recognize it and say, oh, that person's working on that. I'll make it to come alive. So beside Lord Muruga, we have a little Ganesha. It was a gift given to me at Christmas time. And then next behind it is a coconut. And last week we showed you how to roll a coconut. And there's lots of YouTubes on that as well. But take a coconut and just go and smash it on the 14th. You can do it tomorrow. You can do it today, tomorrow. You can do it every day. But if you can't afford coconuts, because they're very expensive here, at least in Canada, you can just say, okay, when's the best time to crack a coconut? It's you can do it on the 13th moon, crack your karma. Imagine it all going into the coconut and then just smash it. And then, you know, you roll it around all those body parts that we talked about. So it absorbs it. So you have a physical experience. It's not just something you're thinking about. Although virtually you can do it too. If coconuts are not available and your imagination can really get into the energy of it, then you can do it virtually. You can do that on the 14th waxing moon, which is for Ganesha, which is celebrating his marriage. So it's going to be, we're going to bring Ganesha's energy. He's going to get married into the earth plane, meaning he's going to unite with all beings, all human beings. And he's going to bring Siddhi consciousness, which is miracle consciousness. And he's going to be bringing Buddhi consciousness, which is wisdom and high intelligence. We all need that. And all of us have this Ganesha energy in us. It's a being. We are human beings. And the divine beings, are also beings. So this being energy is mixing and dancing and mingling and trying to raise our level of consciousness, just like we would if we talked to someone in a high position in life. They would enlighten us. They would raise our consciousness. We would know more things. We could maybe have access to more things than we normally could. So that's like these archetypes. They are high beings. So they have access to high intelligence, and then they can show us how to navigate in this earth plane and also go into greater realms and spirit and experience more subtle and more divine energies or refined energies. So, Liz is saying, thanks, my throat is much better. That's what it is. This is a few minutes, right? So the meditation, the stream of consciousness is not always going to be, oh, all touchy-feely and beautiful and amen and so on. It's not going to be that at all. For all of us, it doesn't matter how far along you think you are on the path. If you're thinking, then there's karma, right? If you're thinking, then there's karma. So in life, we all have to think. So we have to grab onto some good thoughts that will produce good karmas, right? But not everybody is going to be thinking the same way as we do. So still, you're going to be mixing and mingling with the mosh pit of thoughts and karmas, and regardless of whether you're you know, in a state of meditation where you're just totally blissed out and you're able to navigate the world and it's all good. You go into higher heights and it's like a mosh pit because it's the Akashic records. It's everything that everyone ever thought. So, oh my God, are we ever going to get out of this? So these divine beings will help us to do that. It will help us to tap into that high state of consciousness and then pull into this earth plane as we are evolving in this lifetime and in future lifetimes as well. And if this is your last lifetime, God bless you, because it never is. Even if you get a light body, you'll come back because you'll have that compassion so deep ingrained in you that you'll want to, I'm up for it, let me go to the earth plane and help everybody out, help everyone to evolve. But the good news is we're in the golden age, or you know, just stepping into that door. And as we step in as a human race, the race is over. We'll just all be able to have this Siddhi Buddhi consciousness. So propitiate Lord Ganesha on the 14th waxing moon by breaking a coconut, doing some prayers, doing some meditations. And the stream of consciousness that we're in will make things to just spin out faster and faster. So it's not going to be pleasant, but as it comes up, it can be released pretty quick too. So there's a story about Ganesha's wedding. So that's on the 30th. So check it out on Astro Pillai Center. Oh, I'm not sure if I mentioned the lunar eclipse. This is where Rahu and Ketu are hemming. These are the north and south nodes of the moon. So the north and the south node of the moon deliver tremendous karma. And it's a lot of emotional karma because Rahu's sitting in Cancer right now and Ketu's in Capricorn. So there's a bit of a battle that's going on, maybe internally or externally it's showing up, where people are just saying stuff and it's like, whoa, it's coming out of nowhere because Rahu does that. It goes, ah, it explodes wherever it's placed. It's transiting now in Cancer. So that's a sign of emotions and your deep desires, or your, it's the natural fourth house. So anything associated with the mother or women in your life, or, you know, the ability to nurture yourself, or the ability to think clearly. Is you can be very confused during this time. And it's sitting there for the past several months, and it's going to be transiting in through Cancer for 18 months, I believe it is. Maybe Radha can fill me in on that, fill us all in on that, those timings. But it's just recently transited, and then it's going to be activating our emotions and the way we take care of ourselves. Maybe we will clean up our diet. We'll get to take care of our body, mind, our environment, because fourth house is also your home. Maybe you'll do some renovations, but you have to be really careful, because you may be thinking, oh, it's a, you know, I got the contractor, they said it's going to be this amount, and then bah, you're surprised it's like triple the amount or something. So do make sure that you check everything, and you check and check again. Be very, very clear and pray to Rahu. Ketu sitting in Capricorn, so Capricorn is the natural 10th house. So it can cause some problems with your purpose in life or your workplace and things like that. So you want to be careful with that. But Ketu, if you propitiate him, then you are can be detached from it. It's going to go on, but you're just like, okay, well, anyways. So this particular eclipse period that is happening, the peak of it is, I think they give timings on the 31st. Yes, they say it is 6:07 p.m. and exits around 9 p.m. That's India Standard Time. So this lunar eclipse is where Rahu and Ketu are hemming in all the planets in the zodiac. So it's causing this kind of like we're tight feeling. You're going to explode. So just be careful. Do more meditation at that point, or do more rituals, practices, participate in this service. That'll do it for you if you don't have time to do all the rest. So you can participate in these remedial rituals. And it says, so what is a lunar eclipse? So the lunar eclipse occurs when the moon passes directly behind the earth into its shadow. This can only occur when the sun, earth, and moon are aligned exactly or very closely so with the earth in the middle. So there's an alignment, the sun, the moon, and then the earth. They're all in a line, or relatively speaking. And then, so this lunar eclipse can last for a few hours, and then it will, according to Vedic astrology, this is happening on the 31st, and it's not advisable to start any new ventures. So if you're going to start anything new, so taking a course, doing a new business, or launching something in your business, opening up a bank account, like anything that's important, maybe even going to a doctor's visit, because you don't want all of a sudden, bah, and you're emotional, right? So it makes sense that Rahu and Ketu would be aligning up during this lunar planetary configuration as well. The sun, the moon, the earth. So this, but here's the thing, when that's all lined up, so the sun is your soul, the moon is your mind, and then the earth is you. So everything gets to be in alignment. And so it's great to do spiritual practices, meditation, participate in rituals or services, because then you're lined up, you're locked on. You know, the laser is on, and it's just going to explode any karma. It will just like, zzz, you know, or like a bug light, it'll just bounce off, right? It'll be gone. So it's easy to do meditation at that time. If you're feeling upset during that time, just zip, you know, don't express anything, because once that's out in the space, yikes, you know, it's not easy to take back words. Even if it is the truth, it can cut like a knife. We don't want that. So we want to just maybe go internally more, even if you have to go to work or do whatever you have to do, just check inside and say, nope, not gonna say it, not gonna take the bait, right? Because it's your karma. You wanted to do this. You wanted to go to this workplace. You wanted to work with these people because you wanted to learn how to be more compassionate, more intelligent in the way you are navigating the situation, and also give them space, like allow people to evolve. And how you do that is you just give the space. You tolerate it for some time, maybe a long time. Oh my God, we all have stories of how long is this going to take? God. Oh my God, I can't take it any longer. You know, so instead of having that conversation, well, you can have it because we're human, but you can just be and just in your veil. You know, I've got the veil as my backbone and brain. And some people, like myself, I have lots of veils. I got lots of lemons. I have another one here. And you can just keep them, put it in your purse, take it on, especially the lunar eclipse day, because you might go a little loony, right? So you want to take it with you in your purse or in your car, or have it, you know, in your desk, somewhere where you can be looking at it and go, oh yeah, just take this negativity of the situation right now. And you just take this and you absorb it. You are the surrogate, you little lemon lime, right? Nobody needs to know what it is. You just allow that to suck up. You make that energy go from you to that. That's what it's there to do. Give it a job, you know, let it do its thing. And all you need to do is direct it there. You become the director of your thoughts. So if you're going to direct thoughts inward, that's not a great idea. You don't want to munch on that because it'll get stuck here. So you can take the thoughts and put it into the lemon, and then cut the lemon when you go home or when you have an opportunity to do that. And nobody needs to know. Then you just can always, if you have a veil, take it with you and just have it in your wallet, have it there where you can be just picking it up and holding on to it. You're not directing it at anyone, you're holding on to it. And that is what is, because you are a part of your hand. And your hand is connected to your brain, so it's really easy. We do stuff with our hands all day long. We type, we talk, we touch things, we, you know, open things. We shake people's hands. Ew. A lot of karma comes with that, right? So not that you should be antisocial or anything, or untouchable, but you know, there are celebrities where you've seen they put gloves on their hands. It's not because they're weird, it's because they just pick up so much, they're so sensitive, they pick up so much energy from the people. So you can be just holding on to the veil, and then later on you can just take some water and then rinse the veil. And if you don't know the mantras, that's okay. You just know that this is part of Muruga. You can just even say Muruga, 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 Muruga. Or even simpler. You don't have to get into archetypes. The veil is Om. So you can just Om, Om, Om. And your whole chakra system will light up. And your third eye will light up. Then when that lights up, it expands your whole brain. So then your brain tells the rest of the body what to do. So you're just light. Your lightness of being. Since somebody's, you know, we use the story about the Buddha. Someone spits at the Buddha, kicks the Buddha. They're angry at the Buddha. The Buddha's just, oh, he's not even doing anything. He's already enlightened. So nothing is bothering him. And then and then the person will come to you, just like they did to the Buddha. They'll come and they'll just be, I'm so sorry. You're so gracious. You're just beautiful being. And I'm just a basket case. And you say, that's okay. I know I am too. I have my basket case moments. So there's some things that you can do do this lunar eclipse, because it will help you. If you feel a little bit off, it's a heads up to, mark it in your calendar to just do things that aren't going to be very important for you, practically speaking, and then see if you can change those appointments. And if you can't, if you're stuck in a situation, then you just say, okay, the divine, you're telling me, just bring a lemon in your meeting, put it in your pocket. These are very small. They're called key limes, and you can it's small, just stick it in there. Have it in your purse or whatever it is that you take into those meetings. And then you just have that be the surrogate and absorb any important decision making. And chances are they'll say, well, we'll just think about this and talk about it later. We'll decide later, So, or the meeting will get canceled, or the appointment will get canceled, the doctor won't show up. That's how the miracle consciousness works. You don't have to think too much. You just go do your thing. That's your karma. But then you say, oh my God, this is going to be, I want the best news possible. And then even if you have to go, because you're trusting in the divine, it will all work out. You'll get good news. So that's what it is. There's a lot of things going on. You can read more about that on Ashravet or Pillai Center. Taipusam, again, we talked about that for the past couple of weeks. If you can participate in Dr. Pillai's proxy birthday celebration, if you're not going to India, do that. And I am so happy and blessed to be able to pray for everyone. So I am really excited about that. When we go into all the temples, I always think of everyone who is on this path with Dr. Pillai and everyone in the world, because we have to think high thoughts. It's not me that's going to do it per se, or any one person. It's going to be a collective collaboration of all of us divine souls swimming in this sea of human consciousness, so that we say, okay, enough of that, let's rise up. And then with that collective consciousness, we're going to break through something. So anytime I can go to these power places and pray for everyone, I'm so happy to be able to do it, because it's like something to do, right? And then come back and see what happens with people, and people will share, I felt this energy, and I knew you were praying for me, and just knowing that, then you will really feel it even more during that time that we're celebrating. Okay, so answering the questions on chat, is it okay to pray Ganesha yantra, then another in a row, like maybe Muruga, then Hanuman? Yes, you can pray. Here's the thing, is that everything is happening because of God, and God is doing everything. So God is omniscience, omnipotence, and omnipresence. God is in all these archetypal beings, different levels of gods, different energies, different qualities. So when you're doing your practices, you always want to start with Ganesha, because Ganesha is that energy at the base of your spine. So it wants to move up and start to clear. So whoever wants to come after that, that's totally fine. Now, if you're not focusing on any particular thing that you're doing, and all of a sudden a mantra comes to you, that mantra is coming into your mind, either from within you or around you, and it's saying, you need me now, or you're just about to need me, because you're going to go into a rainstorm and you need an umbrella, or you're about to go into battle and you need the veil, or you're about to go into a meeting and you need to communicate. So there's different intelligence behind each of the archetypes. So if that mantra comes, then that is the being. And then that's who you need to be. You need to resonate with that energy. You need to mix with that energy of that being. And then that will come out in what you say and what you think and what you do. The actions that you take will be because of that being. And then, as Dr. Pillai shares, if you watch the hora, you watch every hour go by, there's an energy that governs each hour. And so when you know what those energies are, you start to become aware of them. They might have been pinging you all along, and you go, oh, that's why on Saturdays everything's just like drudgery. I've got to go shopping. I got to clean. I got to take care of the kids. I got to, you know, bust them around. I got to go cook. I have to go to my parents. I have to go to a party. Like, it's so much stuff that you have to do. It's work, work, work. And you're supposed to have a day off, right? And it's laundry. So that might be it. Or you're running around and you feel like you're just wasting time. You're not doing anything. So, or you're stuck in traffic and you have to be somewhere and you're just not going to get it. That's Saturn in the negative. Nobody needs to tell you that. But Saturn will create you to give you the opportunity to slow down, meaning don't make your mind go all over the place. Just go into your meditation practices. If you can, get some sesame oil and light your sesame lamp. And get some black sesame seeds. I'll show it again for those of you who are just joining. And this is the blessings of Lord Saturn in your life. So you can see that this little tray, this little decanter, it's a brass bowl, and it has a wick, and then it's twisted with another wick called a ruku wick, and then you have the sesame oil and the black sesame seeds, and that's Saturn. That's what he likes. Give him what he likes, and then he'll be in your space. It's the food for the gods. Just like you would light a lamp for the grace to come in, right? In India, that light is going on since Swami Ramalinga ascended. And so that light it's pretty much going here 24/7 as well. For many years, wherever I am, I have the light. I want that light to be that consciousness, that Arul consciousness coming into the earth plane. Do I want it? No, my soul wants it. It longs for it. It wants to do everything that it can. It wants to go against the grain of what everyone is thinking. And it doesn't matter to me, because after all these years and decades studying with Dr. Pillai and being on this path with him, there is no doubt at all that this is the technology of the golden age. Just like internet, everybody like, ew, don't. Now everybody's got iPhones. Kids are coming out of the womb with their phone, you know. So it's just becomes everyday life, you know. It's how you use it. So get on the Hora watch, get an app for your phone, and then watch every hour if you can, or just observe yourself every hour and see the energy, experience the energy coming in, and then it will make you to think thoughts and be in the right place at the right time. How do you do, okay, do you do Tarpanam during, yes, Tarpanam, where is that? During the eclipse time, this is a really good time to propitiate the ancestors. So you want to do Tarpanam every day, just like brushing your teeth, you must do Tarpanam. If you're on this spiritual path with Dr. Pillai, this is one of the only things that the only tool that you ever need to use, the only meditation. Now that can be quite boring for people and it happens so quick, so the human mind wants to do other stuff. However, if you just did Tarpanam, that would take care of everything. Why? Because the Tarpanam is for the ancestors, the spirits who are restless, they're stuck. They don't even know they're dead. And they are just saying, no, I'm good. But their soul is attached to our soul through our genes. So that stuckness can be from the ancestors feeling stuck because they don't know any better. We don't know any better. And we're just like, why are we thinking we can't do anything? Because it's just being pumped into us. So if you take care of your ancestors, they will ascend. They can even ascend to the level of God through your Tarpanam. So you can get them to be gods, and then in you is you're a god, right? Because then they're like, oh, thanks for ascending me, putting me up here, because I didn't even know I could go there. I didn't know how to get there. So the Tarpanam is just this, I have some here. It's just rice, white rice powder. I don't know if you can see it. I'll put it on my hand, easier to see it. So it's white rice powder, and it's got the black sesame seeds sprinkled in it. And it's only like a coin size. I know it looks big because I got it right up to the camera, but look at how small it is when I take it away. It's not a lot. And then you just take a coin and then just put some water on it. And then rinse it down the drain. And do that between sunrise and sunset. And that's all you need to do to take care of your ancestors for that time being. So there's lots of videos on Tarpanum, and we've talked about that before. We've even done demonstrations. So do that on every day. And if you get up before the sun rises, then take it to work. And then take a bottle of unopened water, spring water, or go into the bathroom and just pray, okay, it's, you know, this is sacred technology, and no one is there, and you know, you can just quickly do it, and you just pray to the ancestors, be at peace, be at rest, when the sun is risen and then before it sets. So do it sometime, and it's 2 seconds. It's not a big deal, and you don't have to get into all full prayer. That's what Dr. Pillai has blessed us with, is that these Vedic priests will, they're the specialists, and they will do it for you in your name if you don't have the time to do it. But you also want to do it for yourself, because you want, when you do something, then you experience it. It's like a mother will tell the kid, don't put your hand on the stove. Just keep your hand away. You'll burn. It's bad. Ooh, hot. You know, you'll be in pain. And what does the kid do? Beep, 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 beep. Right? So you have an experience. You don't do that again. So that's a negative example, but to get your attention, it's so important to do your spiritual practice and then participate in the services that are offered through Astrovetter Pillai Center, because that is for your soul. And you don't know how to access your soul. The technology has to crack it open and rid it from, get out the stuff that is like the black spots on the soul, so to speak. It's going to clean it up, scrub it up a lot faster, and with a lot more grace and ease on your half, because you're over here on the other side of the world doing whatever you're doing, right? Or you might be in India, but you're not having to go down to the water and do all the rest. It's a pretty elaborate procedure. It's great if you can do it, if you have the time and the money and the energy, great to be there in person, but that's very costly. So these are quite reasonable to have that done for yourself, because it doesn't need the body, it just needs the soul. So you're the commander of your soul. You command it to do, or direct it to do what it needs to do. And this, every window of time that is a powerful time to do these things, will clean up that much more that you haven't been able to do. So don't think, oh my God, I have so much to clean up. Well, maybe your soul is so evolved, it just can come in and do it with grace and ease. That's what it is. The sesame oil can be cured, or virgin oil for sesame lamp. Just sesame oil is fine. Don't go break your bank on this stuff. Sesame oil is fine. Can we do veil piercing in a lemon for close family? You can do veil piercing for anyone, right? You want to use the veil, or use the lemon technology as a surrogate. So if you're praying for a family member and your prayers are not being answered, and then you just know that there's some congested energy in the space of you and the person, and they are not taking action to help themselves, or they can't take action, then you just say to the divine, please give the blessings. You're not going to help them, because then you're mixing and mingling with the karma. So you just say to the divine, you decide how much is going to go into this lemon. Okay, and then because they can't do it, I'm going to do it, and then cut. But you don't say, oh, I'm doing this for someone. Just you are being a vessel, and you're being open, and it's a blessing for you to be able to do it. So you can say that it's a blessing for me to be able to use this technology, and then the divine will decide if the karma is going to be, how much karma is going to be absorbed into that. So, but here's the thing is that do it for yourself first before you start interfering or doing it for others. Prayers are good. You just trust that whatever you're doing is going to spill, that energy in you is going to spill out into the people around you. You can pray definitely for people, but yeah, just be careful with the technology. I'm actually going to be driving my belongings across the country to Chicago, leaving the 31st during the eclipse. The last eclipse, the airplane took off at the moment the eclipse began. Any suggestion? Yeah, so you, again, just put the lemons in your car. You know, take a veil with you. Just keep doing your meditations. You got to go do your life. Don't stop. Oh my God, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to just hide in a hole. You know, lock myself in a room. You just can take the lemon with you. You have, if you have Vibhuti sacred ash, this is the white sacred ash that comes with any of the services that are offered through Pillai Center Academy. I just put it in a nice little container, and here's the lid. So you can just take that and take it with your ring and middle finger maybe, and then just put it across your forehead because you want to wipe out any negative thinking. You can even put it on your throat. There's a lot of people put this on their throat, and then you can also put it on your shoulders. Just a little dab will do you. You don't have to smear it on, although people like to do that too. But you can just even doing that, whoa, just clear it up so much, because it is sacred technology and it has the essence of the being that came and got those burnt offerings from the fire lab or whatever ritual they did that gave the blessings, and then that powder gets sent to you. So take that with you, do that. Take your Shiva Lingam, and on the way, in your stops along the way, you can just be pouring just a few drops onto the Shiva Lingam. If you don't, there's some people say, I don't have a Shiva Lingam, then you can just use a gem or a rock that you designate as your Shiva Lingam until you can get one, until you can order one. And then that, just treat it as a sacred object, and Shiva doesn't mind. So you can use that in the meantime. Sutrita, you mentioned a few days back about how if one has dental problems, it might be due to Saturn's influence. Yeah, that's what it is, right? Because if you have problems with your teeth, the teeth, when you have a root canal, just imagine if you have a cavity or a root canal, or you have crooked teeth, then if you have crooked teeth, people look at your teeth, right? And then that, you feel that glaring and staring, right? Or if you have dirty teeth, you know, teeth that are yellow or discolored, you know, a lot of energy goes to that. And then also if people, if you have any have had dental work where you've had cavities or root canals, then that's, and despite eating, you know, nutritious food, it just comes because that's the karma. So that's an indication that deep-seated, deep-rooted negative energies are being released, and that's over a long, long time, because it takes a long, long time for a cavity, it takes a long, long time for a root canal, you know, irritated roots that you'd have to get a root canal or an extraction, or braces on your teeth if you want to make them straight. It takes a lot of, it's pain, right? So Saturn straightens everything out. He's also associated with the spine. And it makes sense. If your spine is straight and aligned, there's no pain, right? Physically. If the spine is straight and aligned, and then all the chakras are aligned. So Saturn, and it takes a while for you, a long time for you to get into a proper behavior of posture, having proper posture. Now, some of us, it might be, you know, we are aging and it's like, okay, I just gotta relax. I can't sit up straight. You know, are there days where we're so tired and so on? But then just as a practice at home, just lie down on your back, on the floor, or I'll put a mat or blanket or something on the floor, and just lie there and feel your body moving around, and it starts to straighten out the back, and that will help to bring more Saturn blessings, because you're paying attention to where it's messed up in your body. So the teeth, the dental problems, they take a long time. So Saturn takes a long time. It's the slowest moving planet. So you want to propitiate him by taking care of your teeth. And do your tarpanum. Just like you would brush your teeth, do your tarpanum. Should I still light the sesame and ghee lamps during my menstrual time? Yes. There's only me in my home, no one else to do it. I have never done this, but wondering if it's supposed to do it all. Yeah, here's the thing, is that there are two schools of thought. Is that, yes, you can do it. Just have it in a separate room in your puja room. Don't go in there, just light the lamp and then just leave it. You know, you can leave it on your kitchen. You can leave it on your desk. You're just inviting the divine to come in. You're not doing a lot of ritual. It's just to propitiate. If you don't want to get into that and you're not as clear about it or you don't feel comfortable about it, then just mantra chanting is the best, or meditation, because there's no objects to get messed up in the space with this energy coming in. So in general, that's a good rule of thumb for those ladies who are during their cycles and they say, oh man, I can't do any of my meditation, my rituals. Mantra practice is okay. Meditation, fabulous. Doing yoga is great. You know, being quiet, saying nothing, going more internally is good. Doing rituals, that's a playground. With you'll be having a little battle with the dark forces. So we don't need to give them anything to play with. Yeah, so someone is just doing, and you can do mantra writing, excellent. Do we throw the limes away after we cut them, or can we use them afterwards? No, you wouldn't want to use them, Renuka, because would you want to eat the karma that you just poured in here? Look at these limes. Now these are the limes that I just pierced. Look at how they're starting to get all yucky, right? I just pierced these like what, an hour ago, right? So they're strong indicators that the negativity has been absorbing. In the past couple of weeks when I've had coconuts right next to me, that's why I put that one there. I've had coconuts right on my desk when I'm doing calls, these Zoom calls, and they will crack. In the midst of a meditation, I'll be like, what was that? Right? So it's taking the karma. It's just automatically, it's a surrogate technology. It's quite miraculous. So if there is a lot of negativity in your space, you can just have coconuts sitting around and let that absorb it and go smash it. Or limes, have a bowl of limes and don't eat them, just cut them and throw them. And you put it into the waste. So I'm not sure if I have answered all the questions on chat. If I didn't answer them, please repost for me. Or you can just jump on and say hello. I think we still have a couple of minutes. If there are any burning questions or shared experiences. And you can always write in to powertime@pillaicenter.com. Is it Powertime Practice, Radha, or Powertime? Oh my God, so many email IDs. Or you can just send an email to sucharita@pillaicenter.com. That will be easy to do too. You don't need to use Darba grass. The only that the Dr. Pillai has shared, even if you just have black sesame seeds, you can just use those. But everybody can pretty much get rice grains or rice powder. And you don't need too much because you don't want to clog up your drains. Powertime Practice at Pillai Center. Thank you, Radha. Yeah, it's Powertime Practice at pillaicenter.com. And Radha, did you want to share anything before we wrap up, or you're good to go? Thanks for being here. Okay. So Radha is our Vedic astrologer. When I'm in India, Radha is going to do the transit talk, and she's going to give a very powerful meditation for Lord Ganesha. So please join the call. And she is a wealth of information that she can share with you about astrology, about being on the path with Dr. Pillai. She's been studying with Dr. Pillai for a long, long time, I think 17 years or something. Long. So just know that you're in good hands, and I'm so happy to be able to pass it over to Radha while I'm away. So enjoy that call, and then we'll see you the following week when I'm back. And then Yagna here, I think you're still here. Yagna is our content writer. So shout out to Yagna. God bless you, dear sister. She captures all the information that has been shared during this time slot and then conveys it in a way that is very practical to use when you're just looking at the newsletter and you're not, whoa, that was overload. This is what it is. That's why we have this call, because it's just overload every week, all the emails coming in. We don't know how to filter it all. So we just like to give you a snapshot of the week ahead so that you can roll out your weekend to start with, have a great day today, have a very empowered day where you're getting a lot done, but you're in the back of your mind, you're saying a mantra, or you're carrying a lime with you, or you're breaking a coconut. These are really powerful technologies to do this week. So enjoy your ascension process. There's no limitation to your soul. Your soul is eligible. Everyone on the earth plane is eligible for enlightenment. And enlightenment is not an end stage. It is a continuous process that you go through. It's an evolution. So no one is better than the next guy. And no one, just because you're just starting or you've been studying for a long time, you can fall from grace very easily, meaning that you can get lost in the mishmash of whatever is going on, the mosh pit of spiritual world, right? And you get hard lessons. You get hard knocks from the planets, hard knocks from those beings who have gone before if you're not doing it with purity. If you're not on your path of purity and just saying, okay, God, I'm just going to do my best. And you just are doing everything. So come through me, keep coming through me, keep blessing me, keep me in alignment with the divine. And no matter what is going on in the world, just zip my mouth if it's undesirable until you ping me to make the right move next. And it might be to say something, but we'll say it very sweetly, or say it with effect that is going to be not ridden with your filter, but with the divine coming through, purity. And then you will know that you are God. So that's your birthright. You have to know it. You have to understand it. You have to be it. You have to experience it. And it's little by little. So congratulations to everyone for coming on today's call and participating in creating this space of awareness so that as we're rolling this week out, everyone is blessed in your life and in the whole world. So thanks so much, everyone. God bless you all. And I'll be praying for everyone to have a beautiful week ahead. And especially when I'm with Dr. Pillai, I'll be sharing with him about Powertime practice and all the members who come on this call. And then he will be blessing you at the soul level. So he doesn't need to know your name. He just needs to know that your soul is coming. And that's being with a spiritual master. They don't need to know about the physical. They don't even see the physical. All they see is light. And so they see the souls that are coming to the light, and then they just clean that up. They're detached. They don't have favorites. They don't have unfavorites. Everybody's eligible. So when he knows that the power time is going on and people are enjoying it by the experiences that they share on the chat or maybe in conversation or maybe in follow-up, that's fine too. So what we want to know is, what we love hearing about is how your week rolled out, and then what you saw about your life and the miracle of you being in your life and accessing these divine energies, coming through a mantra, coming through a sign. Maybe you'll see veils now. Maybe you'll see peacocks. Maybe you'll see glowing light around people. Maybe you'll see sparkles in people's eyes. That's a sign that God is waking up in everyone and showing you, hey, we're all on this journey together. So enjoy, and thanks so much for your kind wishes, everyone, for safe travels. That's most appreciated. So God bless you all, and we'll see you when I get back. All right, take care. And Radha's going to be on next week, so please join. All right. I might even too. Maybe I'll jump on. I'll sneak on. That would be fun. I'll be a guest. So God bless, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.